In tonight's breaking story, Donald Trump's Monday mistake just ignited health concerns worldwide. That's right, no matter what Trump does, his health continues to be a concern. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, at this point, Donald Trump and the Republicans are liars, and there is absolutely no reason to ever trust them again.
Well, there's definitively no reason to ever trust the Republicans, particularly as it relates to the health care issue and the Affordable Care Act. These are people who have now tried more than 70 different times over the last 15 years to repeal the Affordable Care Act. And so there's no reasonable basis to conclude that if they simply give their word as it relates to dealing with the Affordable Care Act tax credits, that they'll actually move toward a legislative resolution. The other thing that's important to point out is this is not a bipartisan spending bill that they're asking House and Senate Democrats to vote on, and Senate Democrats have held the line in such an extraordinary way. This is a partisan Republican spending bill that many of us strongly objected to in March because it cut veterans' health care, cut nutritional assistance, cut benefits as it relates to affordable housing programs in this country, which is desperately needed, and it also cut health care. And so we view this as a partisan Republican spending bill that continues the trajectory of gutting the health care of the American people at a time when we need to fix our broken health care system because of all the damage that Republicans have done.
And still more and more people are speaking out against Donald Trump's nonsense, including former President Barack Obama.
When you have military that can direct force against their own people, that is inherently corrupting. And so when you now start seeing the politicization of the military, deliberately, right?
They just landed in Chicago.
Yeah. When you have what looks like a deliberate end run around not just a concept, but a law that's been around for a long time, posse comitatus, that says, you know, you don't use our military on domestic soil unless there's an extraordinary emergency of some sort. That when you see an administration suggest that ordinary street crime is an insurrection or
a terrorist act,
yeah, that is a genuine effort to weaken how we have understood democracy.
And now Trump's Monday mistake just ignited health concerns worldwide. That's right, take a look at tonight's top story. President Donald Trump's trip to Israel was meant to be a victory lap. Instead, it sparked new panic about the president's health. During his marquee address to the Israeli Knesset on Monday, a moment meant to celebrate the release of the final 20 surviving hostages taken by Hamas, Trump appeared confused and visibly out of sync with the program. According to the Daily Beast, after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu concluded his remarks, Trump unexpectedly stood up to speak out of turn. But before he could begin, Speaker of the Knesset Amir Ohana reportedly placed a hand on Trump's arm and told him, "You're the last speaker." Trump then sat back down, looking bewildered, and was overheard softly saying, "Oh!" The uncomfortable exchange comes just days after the White House declared the 79-year-old president to be in exceptional shape following his second trip to Walter Reed in just 6 months. That reassurance, however, is doing little to calm speculation. Psychologists John Gartner and Harry Siegel, both former Johns Hopkins and Cornell faculty, recently warned that Trump's recurring confusion, word slips, and meandering speech patterns are consistent with early cognitive decline, Monday's episode now appears to validate those concerns. Critics are also pointing to the president's increasing number of unscripted gaffes, from forgetting names of foreign leaders to rambling off topic during official addresses, as evidence that the White House may be downplaying a serious issue. For a president who's already the oldest in US history, Monday's mistake has reignited a global conversation. Is Donald Trump's health deteriorating, and if so, what happens next? Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.